We're live?
Live.
All right, well, this is a new thing. I'm doing Magical Monday because. So let's see. I've got some things on my list today, but first we'll get into the pillowcase. However, I want to show you my vest. This is a work in progress. This is Jennifer Paganelli's print. Remember this matchup from last week? This is the print. So that's still available in case you want it. And hopefully today I have enough time on this live to do the binding, because then all I have to do is a closure of some sort, like a button, and I'm done. So that is after I do this cute little pillowcase. I'm going to make this my main fabric. And I think this is my contrast. This is also a matchup that's still available. I don't know if it had vinyl with it or if it was just a fabric bundle, but anyhow, it's available. We have the whole collection, but I have not had time to put it online yet. So there's that. Ramel, I don't know if you know, but I can't see any comments or anything. Is that the nature of this streaming?
Here you go.
Okay, and I don't even know if anyone will be here because this is so last minute. Oh, hi. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Hetty, Melissa. Made by Misty. Norma's here. Darlene. Oh, how awesome. Thanks for being here. This is just so impromptu. Hi, Di. Lynn is here. Awesome. Working quilting, the 1 million pillowcase challenge. I'm going to base this tutorial off of theirs, and there will be no raw seams on this pillowcase. We're going to, at the very end, we're going to enclose it with French seams, which sounds fancy and complicated, but it's super simple. So I also thought, oh, well, maybe I'll make my mom or my sister one in this matchup bundle. And then my dad, I could do a plaid one with evergreen sparkles. I thought that would be cool. Or as Mia and Ruby say, plaid. Why do they say plaid? I'm like, it's plaid. Anywho, let's go overhead and let's get this baby sewing. Now I will cut the main body of the pillowcase about 22 inches this way and width of fabric this way. And that'll give me plenty of room to work with. The band, I'm doing 10 inches tall and width of fabric this way, just to keep it really simple. If you wanted to add that little micro band, you can absolutely do that, but this one, again, we're just keeping it simple. So I'm going to lay the contrast band right side up on the work surface. Let me just make sure I'm doing this right. Yep. And then I take the body fabric and lay it wrong side up and match that top raw edge up here as best I can. I'm going to bring my tomato over. I throw a few pins in here just because when you're working with, oh, that pin is bad. When you're working with a long length of fabric, it can shift really easily. So do what is best for you to hold those layers. The raw edges are flush at the top. I think maybe, Ramel, we might have to show up every Monday and make Magical Monday. Might have to be a regular occurrence. Just to kind of get some things done, you know? So, all right, I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine. I'm still using Gutermann thread, nothing fancy. I'm on a 3 millimeter stitch length. I think that's fine. And I'm going to take you to over the shoulder view. Make sure this lines up okay. All right. I'm just going to start at the edge. Oh, I lost my thread. Well, I did something there, didn't I? You know what I think I did? When I put on my regular foot, I did not change my needle out, and it's bent. I must have been off-road sewing. So let me put in a new needle. It's really a good habit to change that out when you start a new project. I don't always do that though. And let me check. Oh, my bobbin is out too. Just got all sorts of craziness in here. Let's see if I can put this in without calling Ramel over, because I think I need new glasses. Can I do it by feel?
You can.
I know you say always show up prepared, and I guess obviously I did not. Oh, there we go. Got it. Tighten it up in there. And my bobbin, I use these pre-wound bobbins. Let me show you this package. I discovered these and I've never looked back. This is a Deco Bob pre-wound basics L size, and I have a TL 2000 Juki that I'm using. So I bought a couple packs of these and I love it because then I'm not spending time winding the bobbin. It's not bad, especially if you have a sidewinder little thingy-majig. It's not bad winding the bobbins, but if you find yourself quilting and you're going through 10 bobbins, you know, it can be nice. All right, I've got it threaded. And now I'm going to pull up that bobbin thread. There we are. Okay, now it should work. Just going to toss my garbage on the floor. Don't tell anyone. I'll clean it up later. And here we go. Let's make sure I put that in right. Yep. I'm going to back stitch. Oops, I need to switch my view here. I always check my stitching to make sure it's, oops, make sure it's working. Okay. Oop, look at all those. Huh? Did you guys hear how I said that to Ramel? Huh? Huh? He teases me for that. I should say, pardon, darling, but I don't. All right, so it's sewed all the way across the top there. I'm going to take out my pins. Can you go to overhead view for me? I got my bare feet.
How's that?
Yeah, that's good.
Maybe that's not the right one.
Taking out the pins. This is so fast. I love it. And my stomach is growling. What are we all having for lunch today? Just wondering. Just wondering. I'm going to roll this up. See, I roll it to about here, and I'm trying to make it kind of flat. Now, I haven't used my ironing board yet, have I? You can do clips to hold it for you, like that, if that's easy, or you can use pins. I tend to use pins just because we're going to be folding this, this section up, and I just use 2. Oh yeah, well bring it. I just don't see any comments right now, hon. Yeah. Yep. What is your stitch length? Norma, I'm using a 3 because I like that stitch length, and I make sure to back stitch and, you know, have everything really secure. I'm bringing this up to the top to match the raw edges here. I'm going to bring my tomato over.
I'm going to go troubleshoot something over here.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's commenting about the sound cutting in and out.
Oh no, Ramel's going to troubleshoot the sound. Good thing you can follow along without hearing me natter on. Here we go, just doing some pins. You could also use clips, it's okay, whatever you want to do. I tend to use pins when I'm just working with fabric. Makes me feel a little more secure.
I think there's something going on.
Okay, here we go. So now we're going to sew all the way across here. Okay. I'm not going to sew over my pins. I definitely pull them back out of the way. Now I lock stitched back here because this is the selvage and I'll be trimming that away shortly. All right, so we've got this long tube now. Let's take you overhead. I'm just taking the pins out. Okay, now here we're going to come in from the side and pull the fabric through. Oops, but you got to undo those pins. Remember those pins where I held it in place? That's why I put them towards the side. Let me get this one out here. Where'd you go? Feel it?
For those who have joined, you want to say what you're working on?
Good idea, Ramel. I am doing a quick pillowcase, y'all, because these make really fun holiday gifts and they're so fast and you can customize it to the particular person and say, well, this fabric made me think of you. And so I made you a pillowcase. And who doesn't need a bunch of pillowcases? Every time I go to change my bed sheets, I'm hunting down pillowcases and I always find the ones I want because they're made with the fabric that I like. And quilting cotton, it works great. You do not have to wash and dry this first. You can make your pillowcase and then wash it, okay? I know a lot of patterns say, oh, be sure you wash and dry your fabric first. It's a pillowcase. It's not a fitted bustier or anything. So you'll be fine. Just get in there and do it. And I think it's more enjoyable to sew without the fabric being washed and dried first because that means I'd have to iron it and starch it, which is annoying to me. Okay, I'm going to bring my Ironmatic thingy up here on my table and press this seam so that you can see how we're going so far. I'll have these Ironmatic table cover thingies on the website really soon. They just shipped a bunch to me, so it's coming soon. It's a great self-care holiday gift. I'm trying not to be Christmas specific, you know, Hanukkah or whatever else. Okay, so there's that side. Now I'm going to show you this side. No raw edges because of the way we rolled that up. It's just lovely. I like to top stitch here because it adds a little detail and definition. I think it's pretty. I always use a contrasting thread because I like the look. I like the look of stitches. My iron's on high heat like usual. You know how I roll. How's everyone doing this Monday? Sometimes Mondays can be so mundane, but it's all a matter of outlook, right? Let's make it magical. Okay, now I'm going to top stitch right along there. And I'm just going to keep it at a 3mm stitch length. And then we're almost done. We're going to close it up after this and get it all enclosed. No serger required. I'll show you what we're doing. I think Michelle and I did this last year, or maybe it was the year before, on a live sew. Oh, my head's in the way? All right, Ramel, keep me notified, huh? I'm balancing on one leg. I feel like Captain Hook. I'm balancing on one leg. I'm trying to keep my head out of the way. Trying to be coherent sentences. Oh, I love it so far. Isn't this going to be cute? Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do.
I want that pillow.
You do? You want it? Are you mic'd up so they can hear you?
No.
Ramel, you got to be mic'd up, and I would prefer you to be in the corner because you're gorgeous. I told him last night, we were watching some TV show, and I told Ramel, you should be the lead actor on that because that guy ain't got it going on. And he was like, we won't name names because that's rude. Okay, so now I'm going to fold the pillowcase in half, wrong sides together. Trust me on this. Wrong sides together first, and let's pin it from this side because the selvage is really wide on Ruby Star fabrics, and I want to make sure I'm sewing it correctly. We're going to sew it this way first, and then we'll enclose the seams. Yes, sir.
You got a question?
Let's see it. What color of thread, white or gray? You know what? This one is a very pale pink that I'm using because I love it. I would normally I would use the mist gray that we have in the shop. This is color 305 that I'm using. I just like it. It's kind of like a signature dish. It's a signature of my sewing. If you get a gift from me, it's probably got pink thread in it. I just love that color. Okay, I'm going to take you overhead so you can see that I'm just pinning this all together. I should put my pins a little lower because I'm going to trim, and then we're going to sew 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then when we turn it and sew right sides together, we'll sew it with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and that will enclose the seams. That's a French seam for you. So French seams, you're sewing the fabric with the right side facing you first, then you turn it inside out and sew it the way we traditionally do, right? Okay, so since I'm here, and I know myself, I know I'll start sewing in the wrong space. I'm just going to do my trim right now. I trim out all the selvage. This blade needs to be changed. Just going to trim that out. And then I don't risk any yellow poking through. There we are. Now, this is a long pillowcase if you're looking at this. So I'm just going to shorten it up a smidge because we don't have king size pillows. They're just so long. So I'm going to shorten this up. And actually, I'm going to have to repin the bottom there. I'm going to take off 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take off 4 inches. So let's do this. It'll still give me plenty of length to work with. So not worried. And I'll save this. This would be a really cute addition to my patchwork quilt collection. Stash pile. All right, let's sew. We can start over here at the fold, sew all the way down, turn the corner, and all the way up. Let's go to the machine. And again, this is just a little 1/4 inch seam allowance. It'll feel real small, and that's what we want. So I just line my foot up on the edge of that fabric. That's about 1/4 inch for this foot. If you have a wider foot, you might have to chalk it out. Then again, I wouldn't. I would just wing it, right? It's a pillowcase. It's not launching the space shuttle. All right, let's turn the corner. Here we go. Oh, thank you.
There's one person saying every other word is cutting out, but on my phone it sounds good.
Okay. Maybe it's the internet connection with their phone. Sometimes that happens to me when I'm watching YouTube. Okay, so here we are at this stage, right? These are all raw edges. So let's turn it inside out. Yeah, this kind of does look like you, Ramel. This might have to be in your stocking.
I want that.
You want it?
Yeah. Going on my pillow.
Okay, this is like a corner that's not all the way poked out. So what I do is I take a pin and I coax it out gently. Okay? Okay. So it's just a corner that's not cornering to my demands. So I just take a pin in and kind of coax it out, and there she goes. Okay, perfect. I'm just going to give this a quick press so that all the seams are flat when I go to do the final sew. And then it's done. It's completely done. Now, if you have special tags, do put them in. You know, like if you have made by Grandma or made by Nina or Mima or whatever. Put them in there. Okay, I'm just flattening this baby out. There we are, looking good. And if you wash and dry it before you gift it, it's ready to use, which I love. Okay, so here's the sewn seam, okay? I'm just gonna mash that down a little more. You can feel it in there, so you'll know. But on this pass, instead of 1/4 inch, I'm gonna be sewing 1/2 inch. Because that I know will encase the seam for eternity. So here we go. Yep, Ramel, we got a question? Yeah. Let's see it. Yeah. Can you please tell us more about that ironing pad? Will it protect even the cutting mat? Yes, it's amazing, Terry. Mine are going to be purple in the shop. It's from Ironmatic, and I will have, I think I ordered 50, so I'll have 50 on this first shipment for availability. We'll have that listing up Wednesday night. Okay, but yeah, they protect. My cutting mat is under there and it protects it. It doesn't even feel hot. You know how usually when you're ironing, the underneath feels hot or warm at least? Nothing, it's cold. I don't know how she invented this, but she's a genius. I met the girl and her mother who invented this. They're absolutely amazing. And I think it's well worth the investment to get one. Because then you can take it anywhere too. If you're ironing on your dining room table or the kitchen counter or wherever you're at.
You literally can iron anywhere.
You can iron anywhere with that thing. Why do you think I was so excited?
Except on your food. You probably don't want to do that.
Your food?
Yeah, or maybe.
Oh. Okay, let's sew this up. 1/2-inch seam allowance. I'm kind of guesstimating it. You know how I do. Huh? Oh, he keeps telling me my big head's in the way. All right. You know, Ramel, we should have you sew one, actually. We skipped you right over pillowcases, right into PJ pants.
Oh, I didn't know the pillowcases was the first step. So I guess I hit the ground running.
You did. You hit it running and sprinting. And you know what? I like that. That's what I did too. I was like, beginner projects, whatever. Remember? Let me make a 1800s Beetlejuice dress, remember? And then we went and got pictures at Whitby Abbey. And I was living my best life. Almost done. All right, so now we just did this side and the bottom. And now we'll turn it right sides out. Trim your threads. I have little tiny bobbin threads here. I'll move this.
Is that a king size pillow?
No, I mean, it is on the larger size, Ramel, but I do that on purpose because I wash and dry after the fact too. And it keeps the measurements real simple. Like you can do 21 inches with a 9-inch cuff, and then it's your typical standard pillowcase size. I like to make mine a little bigger though, just so those pillows don't poke out. Have you noticed how my pillow keeps coming uncased?
Yeah, that's mine too.
It's because that's a store-bought pillowcase.
Darn
For
it.
shame. I need
Well,
to.
then that's going to be my pillowcase then.
Yeah, it's awesome. Look at this. Isn't it cute? This is now Ramel's pillowcase. So I would give it a quick press and then fold it up all cute like. There are no raw seams in this baby. You could even put another present inside the pillowcase and have this be part of the wrapping. But there we are. So cute. So I'm thinking my next one, maybe for mine, will be this, or maybe for my mom, because she used to do yoga like crazy. This is an exercise lady, and I figure if I did that, maybe with the Ruby Star stars, that would be fun, right?
That's a nice matchup.
Or maybe I do this for Catherine. And then I could also do one to match my vest. Maybe we should have some pillowcase bundles in the shop. Okay. Have you seen the pillowcase that have a folded in cover? It goes over the end of the pillow and then the pillow doesn't slide out. I have not seen that, Angie. That's wild. I'll have to inspect. That's a great idea. Because, yeah, they do tend to slide out. If that case is just long enough, it drives me bonkers. So, okay. There we are with that pillowcase. Now let's bind my vest. Can we do that? And what's your vote? Should I do this one next or should I do this one next? for my next pillowcase. It's going to be for my bedroom, I think. My bed, my pillow. And then I'll make everyone else's. That's a little, that's not very, I don't know the word.
Christmas giving.
That's not in the Christmas spirit, is it?
Right.
I should make everyone else's first. Well, we can say I'm warming up. And then by the time I get to theirs, it'll be nearly perfect.
Yeah, Gary has one question.
All right. Will this video be saved? Yes, it will. Absolutely, 100%. And we'll chop it down too. So we'll chop it down to the pillowcase thing and then this binding thing. So if you're here a little bit later, I'm going to bind the edges of this vest. So what I did is I just cut out what I thought a vest shape would be, right? And I sort of, how do you call this? I quilt sandwiched it. So there's a lining, there's batting or wadding in the center, and this on the outside. So now I've got a ton of raw edges, and I was debating, well, I could just serge them and call it a day, but I thought, let's bind them, because it kind of gives the vest more shape and a little pizzazz. So I'm using this Wright's Bias Extra Wide Double Fold Bias Binding in Berry Sorbet. This is one of my favorite colors from them. And I like using this binding because I can shape it with my iron very easily. And I do have a YouTube tutorial for binding and curved edge binding on my channel if you want to go real deep into it. And let me decide, am I doing this the cheater? No, I shouldn't do the cheater method. I'll do the cheater method on the inside seams. So let me take you overhead. Do it right, Natalia. All right, let's do this. I'm going to cut these two lengths for this inside seam here, just kind of puffy. And the cheater method is when you just take your binding and you fold it over and you sew it all at one time. Now it's a risk, because if you haven't done this 1,000 times, you risk not catching both edges. So I only recommend this if you're a renegade or a rebel and you just go for it and you don't get mad at yourself if you don't catch both edges and have to redo. If you're on the perfectionist side of things, don't do it this way. I'll do the right way when I do the outer edges. Okay, let's sew this down. All right. And I'm right on that edge. I mean, right on it.
If you can move the machine to the left a little bit more,
Sure.
that would work.
Yeah, like there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's better.
but your head's still in.
Maybe I need to put my hair in a bun. I know, Ramel, I have to see what I'm sewing.
Change that.
There's that one. Let's see. Oh, miraculous, I caught both edges. Now, the reason this can be a raw edge here at the end is because it's going to be bound on the bottom and it's going to be bound in the arm side here. So it's okay that it's raw edge. Let's do this other straight section here. All right, I'm just opening it a bit. I think the trick here is the clipping. Make sure it's really clipped securely. But also, there's something to be said for just being easy on yourself. Like, it's sewing, right? It's okay, we can fix it. Even if we go off the rails, it's fixable. There it is. And there's that. Okay, I'm going to sew that one down. It should have my stiletto. Oh, I missed that little section there. That's okay. Just going to flip it over. If you use really matching thread, you'd never see another pass. Mine you'll be able to see, but you know what? It's my vest, and I'm okay with it. There we are. It's fine. Okay, I'm going to trim those edges. So the arm, oh, I have the shoulder edges too. Let's get those covered. I may need to grab another package of binding. In these packages, I want to say it's 2.5 yards that they give us.
Do I need to get it for you?
Well, if you want to be safe, maybe that would be a good idea.
Okay,
Do you
where
feel
is
like
it?
it? It's in the front by the cash register. Hold on. And, well, any pink will do. It is called berry sorbet. It's on a little stand on that countertop in the back behind the register. Capiche?
No capiche.
No capiche. Thank you. So that's what happened. This one was not pressed right. This little section of binding. I'm just going to give it a quick press. Okay, I'm doing those top shoulders. When Ramel gets back, he will let me know if you all have any questions or anything. When we use a different app, I can't see them, can't see comments. Okay, I'm just going to sew those shoulder seams real quick. You found it that fast?
Do you know who you're talking to? Do you know who you're talking to?
Thank you. Well, that's amazing. You know what? I think now you're ready to find things in the kitchen, Ramel.
Well, that's gonna be another challenge there for me.
But did you notice how the pantry has a light?
Yeah, it does.
So now you'll be able to really see things.
Well, we're gonna have to get like an X-ray machine in there. So
An extra what?
An X-ray machine.
X-ray machine.
So it'll highlight what is it that I need to see so I can find it.
Or a pantry key and map so that
Maybe.
where it says potato chips, second shelf, left side, look all the way in the back. Move things.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Okay, we've got the shoulders bound and I'm going to trim. All right. That one looks pretty good. I'm going to get these threads out of the way though. Okay, so when I start to bind a garment, I usually start in the center back, because then when you overlap the short ends, it looks like it's meant to be. At least that's what I tell myself. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to start in that center up there, and I'll take you overhead on the counter on this one. So I'm going to do this way the correct way. So we're going to start on the edge that is a little narrower, and we're going to sew that to the inside first. And then when we wrap it around to the outside, it will be the longer edge, so it'll encase the previous stitching that we just did. So let me find center here. This looks pretty good. I'm going to open it all the way up. Actually, it's getting sewn in, so I don't need to fold. And I do not clip, because what I'm going to do, let me bring this Ironmatic over again. I'm going to coax this binding around with my iron. Oops, my cord. Let's bring it back out a little bit. Let's try there, okay. So with some heat, it really works so well. And then I can, oh. No, the way I'm sewing, yeah, that's not how I want to start. I want to start at the other end and bring it towards me more easily. So let me open it up. Same exact thing, but I want it to go this way. So what I mean is, make it easy on you and start in the direction that you want to sew. So I want to sew it with the coat over here, because that's easier to get through the throat of the machine. I haven't sewn in so long. So this is like warming up all over again for me. Oh, I thought I was on the overhead camera. Oh. Good idea, good idea. There we go. Is that too bright? Do you think we need to dim it down? So I'm sewing right in that pressed ditch. See that crease? That's where I'm sewing, because then the binding will want to naturally fold over, and it'll be great. Now I hope I can get over this hump without an issue. I probably should have whacked it with my whacker. Yep, it's good. I practiced binding a lot. When I first started sewing, I was making tons and tons of aprons. It's such a good project, aprons are, to hone a lot of different skills. And because they're basic, it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's nothing too difficult, but yet it makes you repeat a lot of the really important skills throughout the project.
It just naturally curves.
Yeah, because it's cut on the bias. Isn't that magical?
It's just weird, like, okay.
Yeah, so there's warp and weft and bias, Ramel. And bias is cut at a 45-degree angle, so that the fibers stretch. And that's why it curves so easily.
Wow. It's magic.
It's magic. You can have anything that you desire. Who sang that song? I did? I used to have that big old record. Maybe somebody in the crowd knows. Oh, of course.
It's a song by America, and I love that song.
Yeah, it's so good.
You can do magic. I'm going to play that after this.
Ramel and I have started our spooky season movie watching. Has anyone watched any spooky movies? Oh, are you monitoring the comments, Ramel?
Yes, I am.
Are there more questions or anything?
No, I'm just going to put the Lorianne when she had that idea there.
I always start on the side saying, yeah, Lorianne, that's a good idea. I guess my neck isn't sensitive because I don't notice it. Oh, I'm running out of binding. So I'm just gonna...
Andy is like, nope.
Nope what?
For horror films.
Oh. Yeah, I know. I'm usually pretty chicken, but I'm trying to level up with Ramel because he likes me to be there. But you know, I'm a natural screamer, meaning I don't even know I'm gonna scream, and it just happens, and I shock myself because I don't know I'm gonna scream. Like there's no brain activity there. It happens. I don't know how you can explain that unless that's you too. Then you know.
I have not been spooked by any horror movie since I can remember.
No spookage at all?
Nope.
You know, it's not horror flicks, but what's the one where they're silent throughout the whole movie? What's that called? With Emily Blunt and her husband.
Yes.
The aliens.
Yeah.
That kind of movie, I love that because it's not really horror, right? It's thriller.
Let's say I kind of heard. You jumped a quiet place. There you go, Michelle.
A Quiet Place, yeah. Oh, I love those movies because they get me. I'm like on the edge of my seat. And my kids get so mad at me because I scream. Mom, it's just a jump scare. Oh my gosh. Get it together, Mom. Oh my God. Okay, go ahead. Do you make your binding? Sometimes I do, Rhonda, but this one I'm using prepackaged rights because it's so easy to use. And I've used it a ton in my life, even in the very beginning when I first started sewing along aprons and curved edges. So if I can use something that will save me time, I will. So that's what I'm using today. But yeah, I've made my own binding plenty of times. You can also buy ready-made like rayon binding. I've done that before, really loved it. Okay, so that whole edge is encased, and now we're gonna push it up and flip it around to the right side of the vest. So I'll take you overhead, and this is how I do it. It's worked. Oh, I don't think so, because this is pretty general. But let's see. I'm gonna kind of push it up here. And you can see where I had to piece it. So this is still tucked. This raw edge is tucked into the middle. Yeah, you're right, Ramel. And I'm just flipping it around to encase and cover the previous stitching. Voila! What did I say yesterday, Ramel? Somebody's name, and you corrected me how I pronounced it. Oh, Oswaldo. And you said it's Osvaldo.
Osvaldo.
Osvaldo. Like a V instead of a W.
Yeah, even though, I mean, yeah, there's
Well, it's good to
Waldo,
know.
but I know that name as Osvaldo.
Yeah, it's good to know because I don't want, oh, I should have, oh, well. I should have folded that edge down in the back. Is what it is. Here we go. You can hit this with your iron to make it sit down and behave really nicely. But look, it wants to behave. Is that fuzzy or is that my eyesight, Ramel? Oh, you said it's the monitor.
Yeah, it's a monitor.
Now, if you have a chunky lump there, maybe trim that away a little bit. This is just like a made up thing. I didn't follow a pattern. I just said, this is what a vest shape looks like to me. So here we go. Just sharing that with you now. When you're confident and don't mind messing up, you can really go far. So I always tell people, just let go of that perfection. It's hurting you. It's hurting your growth. Let go of it. This is not home ec. You're not being graded. Be nice to yourself. And just look at it as a learning experience and enjoy. That's what Magical Mondays are, you know. We're going to come in here. We're going to sew some stuff. We might mess it up, but we don't get bent out of shape over it. Look at that curve. Ooh, so good. It's like driving a Lamborghini on rails. I don't know. I've never even been in a Lamborghini. I don't know what that means. I heard it on Pretty Woman.
Nice.
In 1990. Corner's like it's on rails. That's what she said. This corner's like it's on rails. All right, there we go. Press that down. Are people at work? What are you up to? What are you doing? I'm going to be nosy and ask. Are you at home sewing? Are you petting your dogs or your cats? Ramel likes to show me cat memes because I guess cats basically talk.
And bird memes, too.
And bird, yeah, you're into the birds. It's hilarious.
They're pretty funny.
Yeah, they are funny.
And the dogs laughing. I mean, they do smile.
You mean smiling?
Yeah.
We're pet people. We like animals. Here we are, coming around this curve. I'm just flipping it out, keeping that raw edge tucked under. I'm going to bring in this iron and watch the magic unfold. Here we are, or stay folded. And it covers that first row of stitching when I attached it to the inside. Boom. And you can smush it over if when you first fold it's not covering that first pass of stitches, just smush it over some more. It's fine. Oh, coming around to the beginning now. That's not a perfect join there, but it's good enough for me. All right. Yep. And then I'll do the arm size, which are going to be the armholes. Okay. Looking good so far. Lots of clips. Put this guy up there. When you make your own bias binding, have you figured out a way to make it like the Wrights? Oh yeah, that's just the way I fold it. So one is, it's something like an eighth of an, it's hardly anything, an eighth of an inch shorter than the other side, which I fib it to be a little bit shorter than that because I don't know, visualizing that is a lot. But yeah, there is a way. So I would say I'm not using a machine or a tool when I'm doing that. Although I think the simplicity, I think that little gadget does it like that for you. I'll check and I'll get back to you. I will check that because that's a good question. I just was doing it by hand and eyeballing it because that's how I do it. I eyeball almost everything, if truth be told. Okay, I'm going to go backwards a bit. Sometimes I'm noticing this machine doesn't want to catch the first stitch, so I'm sure that I have to back stitch or lock stitch, whatever you want to call it. Okay, let me get rebalanced on my leg. I'm going to pop out. Here's where I did that little join, so I'm just going to, see there, it didn't want to sew those stitches again. Got a lock stitch. You're going to zoom in more? Ooh, look at that, Ramel. Excuse me. I need my water. I always adjust the vest so it's not pulling or dragging anywhere. Sorry, I've got a piece of dust in my throat. You could also glue-based if you wanted to, and have this held down. I just think that's too much trouble. I'd do that on quilts sometimes, but not for a garment. Whoop! See what I did there? Sorry. I'm going to take off my mic in a minute. Huh? At? Oh. Whew. All right. Here's the curve. What are y'all finishing? Are you sewing with me here? Or working on or starting? All right, we're almost to the beginning. There we are. Oh, gosh, what's going on?
Drink some water there.
Pardon. Okay. Yay. Now, a lot of times I'll come back in with the iron and it'll look even better. It's kind of cute, right? Now let's do the armholes. All right, so this is not some kind of seamstress school. This isn't Parsons. This is called Self-Taught Natalie School. So I just take my binding and I measure around the hole and give myself a little extra and cut. That's going to be my length. And then I'm going to do the same for the other side. Since I've already figured out the length, I know how long I need it. And that gives me some room to work with too. So we'll do the same thing. Start with the narrower edge and fold it in. Sure, zoom in. Are you able to do it? Or do I need to hit the pedal? Okay. And I'll start down here at the bottom. So let's see, I want the vest to sew like this. So no, I'm going to start at the top. See, we just rearrange however we need to. I don't like that clip. I like this clip. And I'll go all the way around, but because this is a circle, I'm not going to clip it all the way around. I'm just going to sew and see how this is going. Because sometimes with the circle, it can get a little, I don't know, funky. Let me move those. And I'm going to bring this under here. There we go. So right there, I just want you to see that I have folded down that short edge a bit so that it will be encased. Nothing. I had a hair tickling me. Hopefully it's not from my chinny chin chin. That would
You're
be
not
gross.
going to pick up a radio station there, right? Are you?
Ramel says that my chinny chin chin hairs will pick up a radio station. So we have to, you know what? For saying that comment, I'm going to make you pluck them out. Grotesque. Grotesque. All right, here we go. You kind of have to move the vest a little bit as you're sewing this baby. Oh. I'm sure you're thinking, why didn't you pick something easier, ma'am? Well, this is how we do it. Here we go. We're curving this. We're going over a big old lump here. Might need my hammer. No. Good to go. Gonna move the vest. Here we go. I have a feeling, part of me thinks I'll just show them one arm hole and call it a day. But I have this feeling that if I don't do it on air, it's not going to get finished. So what say ye?
I say finish it, but
Finish it.
I defer to the crowd.
I can hardly hear you. What did you
Oh,
say
they
there?
heard me.
Huh?
They heard me.
Oh, okay.
I said I would say finish it now, but I will defer to the crowd.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's ask them. Okay, so I'm going to iron it to, maybe I don't need to iron it. I'm having an issue today.
Sure looks like it.
I'm having an issue. Okay, so folding that raw edge in. Let's get closer. Get a little bit closer. Wasn't that the close-up commercial? Remember that? In the 80s, the red and white toothpaste? Remember that? My grandma had it.
Closer.
Yeah.
Is that okay? I think I know what song you're
And they
talking
would
about.
lick their teeth, which I thought was so gross.
What? In
Yeah,
a commercial?
in the commercial. And then I saw a quote the other day somewhere, and it said, every time you lick your teeth, you're tasting your skeleton. Congratulations. And I thought, well, that's not technically correct because it's not bone.
Yeah, it's not,
It's enamel,
it's enamel, yeah.
right?
But then,
But wait, our teeth
we're
bone?
talking about commercials from like 20 years ago, and you probably
Oh,
wouldn't
more than
cut-
20, Ramel. 20 years ago was 2004, sir.
What?
Yes. We're talking like 40 years ago.
Oh no. Okay, all right. Well, what I'm trying to say is, those commercials back then, they wouldn't cut it right now.
You don't think so?
Nope.
I don't know. We all used to watch commercials. No choice in the matter. I'd be watching MacGyver and have to watch American appliance commercials like every other commercial. Drove me nuts. That guy shouted at me and I hated it. Okay, here we go. There's that armhole. Shall we sew it down? Sometimes I see people take the armhole binding and tuck it all the way to the inside as well. So that is an option, but I kind of like the color pop. Sort of like outlining. Did anyone outline their coloring books as a child, like with a darker outline of the same color and then shade it on the inside with a lighter color? I did. I loved coloring books.
Hetty says a lot of TV shows couldn't make it now either. That's so true.
That's really true. I feel like that new show that we tried one episode of is kind of a remake of Love Boat.
Oh.
Remember Love Boat?
Yeah, I remember Love Boat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have a question.
Okay. When are you going to do some more clothing items with the Asha dress? Is this a conspiracy? I know. I've got a whole list of clothing items that I'm going to be sewing. Okay. And it's going to be happening. Probably Magical Mondays, I'll just start doing a pattern every week.
Just pop in, just like we're doing right now?
Just pop in and do it,
Right.
Because otherwise it's so difficult to find the time to prep and video and have Ramel edit. Poor Ramel, he's working all the time. So am I. And I think the lives just make it easier, but warning, it'll be raw.
Well,
I don't know.
right now, any mistakes you're making, I mean, there's
Yeah.
some editing.
Well, I've never had a problem with people knowing, any mistakes I make. Like, let's be authentic and let's just tell the truth. Nobody is perfectly sewing anything. I'm sorry. No, it doesn't happen. There are plenty of things you never would see unless the person points it out. Which, don't point it out to anyone. That's self-abuse. If sewing were easy, everyone would do it, right? That's the ticket. Here I go again. Renelle, you gotta get an air purifier back here.
There's one right there. I think I'm just gonna have to turn it into high. Can we do the Heimlich maneuver?
It's Heimlich remover.
Oh, Sherry knew the show.
Oh, does she? What did you think, Sherry? I was like, what is happening here? What is going on?
Well, we just watched only one episode.
I mean, you shouldn't judge a show by the first pilot.
Yeah.
That's true. But I was just not super impressed. Anywho, carry on. Okay. Sometimes I can be a bit of a snob with TV shows too, because I really like my British procedurals. And what's that one show where they were just in the room the whole time talking, but I was on the edge of my seat? It was a British procedural.
Yeah, it all takes place in the
Interrogation room.
Yeah.
Such a good show. I slammed through that so fast. I was begging Netflix for more.
But then there was this other one that you watch. Like, wasn't it like in Cornwall or something like that?
Oh yeah, that was good. That had Olivia, what's her last name? She's a master. She is just one of the best.
Was it in Cornwall?
I don't know if it was
some coast.
I don't think it was specifically Cornwall. I'm trying to think where it was. It was a downer though, for sure. It was a downer. Because you find out everyone had their skeletons in the closet. I was trying to watch that new one with about that really rich family in the Hamptons with Nicole Kidman. But I just can't take it. Like when people freeze up their faces, I can't stand it. So I can't watch it. I wish, she's such a pretty woman. I wish she would just leave herself alone. But who am I? She probably has 1,000 pressures on her to do all that. Huh? Slow Horses? I don't think that was it. Was that it? Was that the title? The guy in it I really liked. He's in a lot of British movies and shows. Gosh, I'm not being very descriptive right now. Okay, this armhole is clipped to the vest. We're sewing the raw edge, the narrower edge, to the inside of the vest first. So here we go. Let's see if I can get this in here. Oh, I'm going to have to unclip that edge. And here we go. Almost there. I think I did not bring a tag to put in here, which is a bummer, but I guess I can add it after the fact. I may have to add patch pockets to this too. I don't think I was thinking about that clearly, because we need pockets on everything. Coming up to that jump. Good thing I have chrome needles in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I caught, oh no, I didn't. Okay. Whew. Thought I was catching the underlayer.
Bulldog?
No, I did watch Poldark though. That was in Cornwall. Yeah, that was a good one. This was more recent, I think. I mean, recent to us anyways.
Broadchurch.
Yes, that's it. Broadchurch. Yep. That is it. Okay, now I'm flipping it around to the front.
Yep, that's the one.
What?
Where's the setting at Broadchurch?
Broadchurch.
Oh, it's in Broadchurch, yeah. Okay. But what part of England is that?
I think it's southern, isn't it? Southern coast. If Di's here, she can tell us. Oh, I should go overhead so you can see what I'm clipping here. I'm almost done. This will be the last seam, the last section of sewing. What do you want to see? So some people are telling me, so the clothing, the Asha dress specifically, I want to do the Montana. It's super simple, but I think it'll be enjoyable on a live because it's pretty quick. The Susie wrap dress is also very quick. We could do that with a knit fabric. What else? Oh, I was going to do the basket with the ruffle. Ramel and I did the basket liner last winter, I believe. But I was going to add a ruffle edge. If that's something, or is that too country? I mean, I like a little bit of country. Okay. Let's sew this last little section here.
Okay, it was in West Bay. But West Bay is
It's like going to Cornwall.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Here we go. Sometimes when I get close to that finish, I start freaking out and messing up. So let's hope I don't do that. It's not really a freak out. It's just an excitement and like, oh, hurry up, here we go. Let's finish. And all hell breaks loose. But
Good morning, Allison. She's joining us from Australia.
wow, Allison. I feel special. Okay. You know, in both business masterminds that I'm in, each one has someone from Australia, and they flew in for the meetings, the in-person.
Holy moly.
Talk about dedication. That's a big ask. Okay, I'm just trimming the threads. That'll take a minute because whenever you put on binding, you inevitably will have threads peeking out all over the place, and you just got to come in and trim them. What do I have on? I have a t-shirt on underneath this. Maybe I should try this on. I think I want a closure of some sort, maybe just like a one button thing, or maybe snaps. I don't know. Let me put it on over my sweatshirt. I didn't know I was going live or I wouldn't be in a sweatshirt. It was just spur of the moment. Maybe I do snaps so that it overlaps like right here.
Look how cute you look.
There's the, oh, I didn't curl the back of my hair, I don't think. I look like Raggedy Ann. Yeah, that could be fun, right? A little sewing vest while you're sewing so you don't keep away the chill.
Are you going to put pockets on it?
I think I probably will. Yeah, like right there. Maybe it's my dog walking vest.
Ooh,
And I can put her poop bags in one side and my keys in the other, or my phone. Yeah, totally not perfect, but good enough for me. Oh, I gotta sew that little piece down again. Trimming all these threads. In this little corner, it looks like it didn't catch, so I'm just gonna tack that down. That was right over the lump. Yep, there it goes. All right, cool. There it is. Cute little vest. I love these florals. This print is so pretty. We still have it in blue and green.
What fabric is that called?
Jennifer Paganelli. It's her latest collection, and I bought bolts and bolts and bolts and bolts of it because I wasn't sure if I was going to do curtains.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so I've got enough if you want to make a vest. Well, there it is. We went longer than we said we would. Almost
but
an
you
hour.
got 2 projects.
2 projects done. And I'm going to do some more pillowcases offline for the holidays. Maybe you want to also. Let me know if you have any questions, and you can always, I might not see the comments. You can comment. I try to get in there at least a couple times a week and answer all in one go. If you can't wait, just send an email to help@SewHungryHippie. Are you able to put that up on the screen? Okay, .com. That's where you can reach us. All right? Thank you for being here. It was so fun. Let's rock out the rest of this Monday and make it magical. Peace, love, sewing.